Hi, my name is Noria. I'm a freshman in the animation program at SVA, and this is everything I made in my first semester at art school. So at SVA, your freshman year is divided into block scheduling. So basically you kind of pick what time you want to go to class and what teachers you want to have, and then you're put into a block for the whole year. That block includes story, animation, drawing, history, and writing. Animation, drawing, and story are the only classes that require you to do any actual artwork because the other two are humanities. So I will be showing work mostly from drawing class, but also everything I did in my animation class and the few assignments I did in my story class. I'm going to start off with drawing since that's the heaviest and I think is probably the most interesting. I will post a video at some point kind of explaining everything I learned and passing that knowledge onto all of you because we don't gatekeep and everybody should be able to have this information in my opinion. But yeah, I'm excited and let's get in. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with my drawing class sketchbook. This is just a regular black drawing sketchbook from Blick Art Materials. We were provided it in an art kit. Basically, we just had to do so many pages a week of homework in here. Yeah, I can kind of walk through all my stickers. This is the SVA Sticker Club sticker. This is from my friend Lola. Her ad is there. Figure Drawing Club, Stella, my friend. These two are from volunteering at Pictoplasma. This is from the animation department, obviously, radio station, and this is from my friend Grayson. This was the first thing we did, like, ever. September 2nd, oh my gosh. This was a lecture on, like, the skull, and oh my lord, are these terrible. Basically, in our drawing class, we were taught how to calculate proportions with these little grids. I can go through them in a different video. I probably will, but this is kind of like, you can literally just use these if you want to. And then we also went over the Loomis method, but we never used it because it's awful. I don't like it at all. And this was our homework for the first week. It was to practice these warm-up exercises she had us do. Basically doing circles with a certain like wrist position, kind of like that. I can demonstrate like that. Hold your pencil like that. And then kind of turn them into three-dimensional objects. Just to kind of exercise the way that we construct the basic figure. And then our other homework was to do gesture. These, woof, I've improved a lot. These are not super great. They're kind of okay. I just think the pencil is too thin. Yeah, and some of these are like a lot looser than the others, but the pencil's too thin. That's the big issue. That one's nice. Still, the pencil's too thin, so it makes it hard to read. Some of these are okay. Generally, just like not. Obviously, I was self-taught before this, so my skills weren't really like too developed. But yeah, it's not really like the best at all. This one's okay. And then we also had to do skull studies based on what we learned in class. I actually still really like these. Basically we had to look at skulls in different angles and then draw them using the proportion method we used. I chose the 1/3 proportion method, which I can explain later. Basically it's that you kind of divide it up into third, like the forehead, the brow, and the nose, and the mouth. Yeah, I really like these as well. So the next week, we were practicing some live drawing. So we went to Madison Square Park and kind of drew the doggies that were there at the dog park, which is like, well, I love them so much. And these are so cute. I love this one. Oh, and I love these too. This is like the cutest little thing. Like, she just looked like a mop, and it was amazing. And then this one's pretty good too. And then, yeah, and then we also had to draw some people, unfortunately. These are pretty good. I like those. Our lecture for that day was basically kind of building upon what we had learned last week when it comes to proportioning the drawings, and then build on that, and then we're adding the tailbone or the full thing is called the axial system. We were making it more three-dimensional and adding the tailbone. As you can see here, we were kind of trying to define the three-dimensionality of the rib cage and the pointedness of the tailbone, still using the same proportion method. And then we weren't supposed to do it really detailed, like she said, but I got bored and I wanted to. I still really like these too. And then our homework as well was to go out and draw more people again from life. I really like this one, not those two so much. This one, I like the movement of it. I really like the angle that the body is at, and I like his face and the way his arms are. These, not so much. And then we went to a different park. I don't remember what, but they had a bike run. And so our challenge was to draw people running and on bicycles, like while they were like going past us. So all of these were done basically from almost memory, but basically of them like riding past us really, really fast and trying to like really make sure we got the image of what they look like in our head and then recreate that. And then some skateboarders. And then we went back to the dog park, or I did mostly. I really like these. I like this one and this one. Their assignment was to draw them more like in action and try to draw them interacting with things. So this one, I really like this one as well. I like her like reaction. Yeah, and then we did our anatomy thing again, and this time we were kind of building on the pelvis. So we were learning how to draw the pelvis and construct that in a three-dimensional space as well. And then also learning how to twist the torso and kind of doing that through like a box shape. And then the shoulder blades. We learned to add on shoulder blades, which I still don't like fully understand, but that's fine. They're shoulder blades. You know, I'll get it at some point, you know. And then we also started contour drawing this week. So these were little figurines on my desk. Like this one's like one of my calico critters. And so was this one. Oh, and then that's the triceratops I have. And then these were roses that my boyfriend had sent me. And then these are one of these lucky cats that I have. And then that is a little water bottle. And then I did all of these with a fountain pen. And then this is my little like jar of supplies. And then here we started the arms. So we were learning how to construct the arms. Oh, yeah, and this like bled over. In class, we started doing value studies, like learning how to do dark to light and light to dark. I apparently did not seal this one properly before I, you know, closed my sketchbook. And that's a face, that's my boyfriend, but it doesn't really look like him, but it's whatever. Ooh, and then here we were starting doing watercolor figure drawings, which I really, really love, but it's really finicky. To kind of figure out like when to put this line work down over like the general wash. I really, really like that one. That one is not so much. Leg bones. This was kind of like our first step into like constructing the whole figure. Like finally we had kind of like learned how everything kind of fit together as shapes. And then this was some watercolor figures. These aren't really good. They're more like experimental than they are like actual anatomy studies. But I did do some really good ones, and I'll show you in a little bit when I show the rest of my work from class. And then this is another warm-up page. And then we're kind of building on the watercolor thing, except this time with pencil. So some of these are okay, some of them, I like this one. These are okay. This one looks good. I just don't like the way that the face turned out, but it was like a blind contour, and then I did watercolor over it to kind of get like a more realistic shading. Oh, and I love these. Hold on. We took a field trip to Central Park Zoo, and we did like an hour each, like compositions of like the environments that were there. So this is in like the bird sanctuary area, and then these are like the cutest little monkeys ever, and it's a mom, a daddy, and a baby, and they're so cute. And then they like tie their tails together. Oh my gosh, it's adorable. It's like the cutest thing ever. Oh my gosh. I really like these. And then this was kind of like a character design based off a bird that was there. This bird kept like stealing our supplies from where we were sitting. It broke my paint palette. I like picked it up while it was beside me and like threw it across the little walkway, and then would steal like pencils and paintbrushes and stuff. This is a macaw, so I did some with alcohol marker and color and then some in pen. And then this is the blue and gold macaw, and I did those in pen. This is an oil pastel study of my Miffy plushie. This is kind of building off of an exercise we did in class where we did like a 5 or 6 hour still life in whatever medium we wanted, and I chose oil pastel. More warm-ups, more gesture warm-ups. What was this one? Oh, this one, we had 2 models, and we were basically like trying to figure out how to draw 2 models in like the same time frame that we would normally draw one. So I think these were all like 2 minutes, and then I had to draw 2 models in 2 minutes. Yeah, and then these are from photo reference for homework. They're more elaborate, I guess. I did longer on these. So these are dancers. I actually really like these. And then we were supposed to do a finished like composition of 2 models. This isn't really finished at all. So yeah, I got a B. It's okay. We can't always win. Ooh, and this was hand week. So we were learning how to construct like the hands and feet. And this was my homework. Oof. So we had to do some 2-minute hands and then some 5 to 10-minute hands. And then we did the same for feet. I think I did better on the feet actually, but I think I normally draw hands better than feet, but I guess not. Yeah, I really like these, especially this one. This one's really good. This was when we went to the Met this past week. This was for our last class, and we sat in front of these like master drawings in the print and drawing study room and like kind of studied them for about 10 minutes each. So this was a Van Gogh, this was a Renoir, I think? No, Edward Manet. And then these were Peter Paul Rubens anatomy studies. And I think that, yeah, that's it. Anyway, this stack is everything, almost everything I did for drawing. I'm just gonna put this. Where am I gonna put this? I don't know. It's gonna go maybe a little bit in the fork. Stop, I don't wanna rip it, I don't wanna rip it. Are we okay? This stack is in chronological order for the most part, I think. So I'm gonna start with week 1. The first week, September 2nd. Big one, I think, is like the first 4 or 5 weeks. This big stack that's clipped together. Here is week 1. I'm gonna preface this with I have improved so much in the past 15 weeks. Please don't judge me based on this. Go is yummy, please. Also, thank you to Ian for letting me borrow the microphones. You're a real one. I'll pick these up one by one. So, as you can see, week 1 got the post-it note on top of it. These were some gesture drawing. They're not good. I'll get you up close. Sorry about the lighting. Yeah, as you can see, the lines, very thin. Not a good sense of 3-dimensional form whatsoever. Don't judge me, okay? Don't. Same deal. I'm just kind of gonna go through these, kind of showing them to you one by one. I'm sorry for the lighting, but it is aesthetic, so. And I can't control my blinds at all. Another one. On this one. This is proof that you will always get better. Just keep doing it and you will always get better. These are actually not that bad. These ones specifically, but I did have longer. These are 1 minute. I'll show you them. So yeah, we have some of these. I like this one where he's kind of bending over. Yeah. These are my warm-up pages. I would recommend this actually for anybody who is drawing. But yeah, basically you're kind of just practicing the three-dimensional forms that make up the body. And kind of getting your wrist loose. Squares. Always practice your squares. Or cubes. Rectangular prisms. And then cups. Cups and cones. Don't sleep on the cups and the cones, man. And the curvy cylinders. Don't sleep on them. These ones are I think the first gestures I did of the entire semester. And you can tell. Oh my god, those are basically stick figures. Holy moly. So, don't hate on your progress. I'm just being snarky because I am snarky. Oh my gosh. Some of the first ones I did. Ooh. Switching it up a little bit. This is some of the first anatomy studies I did. Oh, they're made up of the, okay, I see. So as you can see, I drew the figure on top. These are not from week 1. I think there's some week 2 mixed in here. This is week 2. Yeah, this is week 2. As you can see, we're improving. I'm a lot better with the longer time. Kind of understanding the three-dimensional form. Kind of the same deal. Really lightly drawn over figure with the skeleton underneath. Yeah, same. This is why is this the only thing on this piece of paper? It's so bad. Yep. More axial system. Ooh, okay. These are week 3. How did these get in here? Okay. Oh, this is my whole stack of, okay, I get it now. This whole stack is week 1 through 4, I think. So this is week 3. As you can see, we're improving. The consistent practice is really doing good for us. Yeah, so here's the proportions of that. These are also in my sketchbook. Yeah, okay, cool. It is so important to practice your anatomy. More warm-ups. Yes. Pelvic construction. Just one figure. Let's get this in the lighting. There we go. Oh, okay, here's where we see some like definite improvement. Like, these are my 1 minutes now. Look at that. That's just like week 3 or 4, and those are my 1 minutes compared to week 1. Look at that. Oh my gosh, like these are actual figures. They're not stick figures. Oh my lord. Oh, these are okay. These are good. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, check them out. Check them out. This is so fun getting to, I haven't actually like looked through all of this like since I do it, or since I've done it. I just kind of like shove it in my dresser, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna make a video and photograph all of these like when the time comes. Like I did, so it's nice to like look through them and be like, oh, like see the difference even just between like week 1 and week like 3 or 4 like is crazy. It's crazy, and it's really it makes me feel better about where I am in life. Absolutely. Continuing our streak. Oh, I like this one at the bottom. It's a good one. Look at that butt. Nice butt. Okay, I think these are the beginning ones. I can tell by the way when I was drawing them, I hadn't really warmed up yet. Yeah, as you can see, it's still kind of like Undefined is a good word. Arm ups. Okay, more skeletons. We're adding the arm bones now. Nice. These are pretty good. These are pretty good. Respect. Ooh, okay. This is like a thinner model. I really like these two at the top. Oh, and the standing one, that's really nice as well. These are good. Okay, continue with the same model. Yeah, these are pretty good. There's some more. Oh, I like these too. These are pretty good. Oh, let's see. These are these are studying other people's figure drawings to kind of apply those methods into our own practice. I don't remember whose drawings they are, but they're like a master copy. They're on mine. We're almost done with the stack. Let's see. Okay, here's a skinny man. Skinny king. Okay, let's see. These are not the best. I will say I do believe this is whenever, yeah, okay. So we did a thing called like memory drawing where he held the pose for 30 seconds and then we had a minute to draw from memory. So that's what those are. Oh, here's the watercolor. So these are not my best. This is not my preferred medium of figure drawing. These are watercolor on drawing paper. My issue with these is that I want to take the time to like have it dry so that I can line it properly. Because lining the wash of color doesn't really work unless it has the time to dry. And when you're working under a time constraint, it doesn't really, so you lose a lot of the definition that could have come if you just like waited a little bit. Here's practicing how to hold the brush in some different lengths, thicknesses. This is mixed media, so this is graphite on paper with a watercolor wash. It's not bad. Here's the same thing. Same thing. I like that bottom one. I like this one where he's holding the stick. These aren't super great, but they're okay. They're okay. Oh, no. Oh, okay. These are nice. Maybe not those. These top two. We're almost done. Okay, these are pretty good. I like those. I like this action one in the middle. That's a really strong action line. And this one right here. Oh, it's pretty good. Weeks 1 through 5, I think. Oh my gosh. I need to photograph these, but I don't know where to put them. I did so much. I'm just gonna put these on my windowsill, I think. Okay, this next deck is a little smaller. This is when we were getting into contour. I love contour drawing. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, this one's a double-sider. Okay, hold on. So here's the contour. We have some value on the back. Okay. I like these. I like those faces and those feet. It's really... I like this one. There's only one drawing on this one. These are pencil contours. They're so light you can barely see them. These are pencil contours. Oh, tragic. This one's smudged. Oh my god, I'm so mad. I may have not thought this through. These were planning compositions for our 5-hour still life. So we were just planning kind of like what we wanted to do, testing out the materials. And this, I love this. This is my favorite thing that I made this whole year. I love this. This is perspective. When we tried to do perspective, it's like an unfinished study from the High Line. This is also like a sketch. This is also a sketch from the High Line. This is when we had 2 models. This was a really good session. Let's stick around. Wicked Witch. I like this one a lot. Some gestures, practicing with the 2 models. There's some on the back. And she challenged us to like make a story out of them. So that was that. These are good. Ooh, I love this page. This is probably my favorite page. I think this is what I maybe turned it for my final. So our final was basically just presenting like what we were most proud of that we did in the class from kind of all of the exercises we've done. So these are some skulls from first week. Basically sat in front of someone and then tried to draw their skull. These are some anatomy studies with the figure. Some full skeletons done in 10 minutes. Terrified of doing these whenever we first started. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be able to do that. Take your steps. Take steps. It's not so hard when you just take your steps. This is a value study, still life, watercolor contour, pen and watercolor. I like these figure drawings. This is also a really good page. I like these 2, not so much the one at the top. But these 2 down here. And these 2 figures. I wish I never rolled any of these. I was like, I want the one up top. But let's just look at this portrait here. I like this one. "20-minute contour." And then some graphite and watercolor figures. Yeah, most of that was what I turned in for my final. And then this is the last week. This is the last week. had a costume model this week. She was in a can-can outfit. It was so cool. I love these ones. There's one at the bottom here. I love these. Like these I look at and I'm like, I improved so much. I'm so proud. And I love this page of gestures so much. And then on the back I have these 2 long ones. I have everything I did on watercolor paper right here. So this is a banana. These are watercolors from the Central Park Zoo of the birds. More still lifes from class. Exercises. An unfinished. I think this was supposed to be one of those monkeys, but I didn't finish it. And this is a figure. This one's actually not bad. Then there's a really unfinished one on the, yeah. Another figure. Exercise. The beginning of a page of figures that I never finished. And then this was testing out Yupo paper for a figure. Not super bad, but I don't like it. And then another page of exercises. And there's a little bit still in this pad. So these are some contours of some flowers. A value study. And yeah, I think that's it. I don't know how many drawings that was, but I'm gonna count it later. I'm gonna put it right here. That's a lot? I don't know how much it is. I don't know how much it is. I'm not done. I forgot. We have like a thinner model here. It's so difficult to hold these up because they're so curled. These are some hands and feet. Obviously I wasn't very happy with these. We have some more. Oh my gosh. This is like a contour. And then this is a value. This one's my favorite. Okay. Now we're done. Now we're gonna move on to animation. Oh, that's heavy. That is a heavy stack of paper. Oh. Is this more? Let's see. This is a little better. Yeah. So for most of the first semester, I animated specifically on paper with pencil. So like traditional animation. So I'm gonna kind of like, oh shit. Each exercise I did, I'm gonna play it. And I'm also gonna show you the paper. But this is my pendulum. So it was the first assignment we ever did. And I can't flip it because I bent it in half. So, yeah. This is the pendulum. Mine is really bad. It's the first thing I ever animated on paper, or almost the first thing I ever animated, like in general, to be honest. Yeah. Next, was the bouncing ball. The timing chart I made. And then I can't really flip through it. But I'll play it. It has its ups and downs, but basically every assignment we did in animation built upon an assignment that we did previously. So we were learning all of our basics and then learning how all of those kind of work into the standard practices in animation, like walking, running, forward-legged, overlapping action. The principles of the pendulum and the bouncing ball like apply to every single thing that you animate. Including the frog, which is next, and was probably... Where's my chart for this? I don't know if I have it. This was my favorite assignment I did because I reached flow state, as I guess they say. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm actually good at animating. I'm not. But I did really good on this one. And I felt really good about myself after I finished it. And it was actually a lot of fun because it was just kind of like simple and easy to do, you know. And I was still in like the honeymoon phase. I hate animating. I hate it so much. I really loved the frog assignment. That was like the best grade I ever got. And I peaked at the frog. I peaked week 3. Yeah. Pendulum was week 1, bouncing ball was week 2, frog was week 3. The frog is basically just the bouncing ball. So we were basically being tested about anticipation while also using the bouncing ball. Here's my timing chart. I don't know if this is helpful in any way. Okay. Next, we did the walk cycle. Mine is not very good, but there's my timing chart. It's like frame by frame, you know. So when you do a walk cycle, the pendulum of it all is in the hands, but the feet have bouncing ball timing. So we were practicing how to do timing for 2 different elements of an animation correctly. Pretty hard, honestly. Not now, I guess, but then it is. Yeah. I would talk about animation. There's plenty of other tutorials online that will explain it a lot better than I ever could and execute it a lot better than I ever could. Next, we had an in-between assignment. So basically, gave us printed out sheets, my teacher, to in-between with our own drawings. Oh, this is upside down. I really sucked at this. Yeah, not probably like, oh my gosh, the worst thing I ever like did in the class. I finished with a B, by the way. That's what I wanted. I'm pretty proud of that. But yeah, this was not a good in-betweening assignment. I was not very good at it. What I did next was the run cycle. So basically we built on the walk cycle that we did 2 weeks before. And we had to animate a transition to a run cycle for it. Mine was actually pretty good. I was pretty proud of this when I finished it. I felt really good about it and what I was kind of learning and improving. Yeah, I was pretty happy with it. Next we did a walking flour sack assignment. The character walked in, saw a sack, picked it up, and then walked out of frame with it. So we were basically testing what we could do in the span of a week with that. I'm pretty happy with this one as well. It's a little too fast, but it still works. It works smoothly. Yeah, and it was also testing us with weight as well. And then the next 3 weeks we did a lion. So we started with the lion walk, and then we did a lion run, And then we did overlapping action with the mane and the tail for all of it. You could see like where we did it on the different layers, and then shot it with a dragon frame. Ugh, oh my gosh, this one was rough for me. I think my walk and my run were okay, but the overlapping action did not do me any favors at all. I was really bad at it. Yeah. And then our final was a 4-week project. We got to use whatever software we wanted, and it was basically a combination of every assignment we had done before. So we had to do a walk, we had to do an overlapping action like with the lion, and then we also had to interact with an object. So this was mine. It was honestly, it was fine. It didn't take me that long. I finished with a B. I'm pretty proud of it. It's actually finished. Some of the other people in my classes weren't, so I thought I was gonna be terrible, but I actually wasn't that bad. Yeah, I'm happy with it. This is what I expected from myself, and this is what I turned in. So yeah, I want to find where all of my story assignments went, but I don't think I still have them. I think I might have tossed them. The first one was just a 20-minute in-character class sketch based on the description of the character. Second assignment was the same thing, so I didn't really keep those because I didn't think I needed to. Third assignment was to, we didn't have much assignment, it was mostly film theory, we didn't have much work, was to do like a character design page for like a character from a movie that we watched, and that was all the like actual art we did in that class. I don't know what to say about my art school experience so far. It's only been 1 semester. I've improved a lot and I'm really happy about that. Also, I would like to say this kind of education you can also get online, and I really am going to try to kind of take everything I've learned over my time here so far and put that on my channel for all of you. I think everybody deserves to have access to this information. I think art school is economically not feasible for anybody, pretty much. I'm really struggling right now with everything. So yeah, I have great professors. I think I'm learning a lot, and I love it. I love art school. I love learning about things that I like. I love New York. I'm having a good time. You know, it's just like, oh my goodness. Like, there are definitely things to consider. There are definitely a lot of things to consider. And I'll make a video about that very soon. So yeah, I'm really happy with how much I've improved. I'm really proud of myself. I'm excited to see what I do next semester because I'm going to be doing a lot more, and it's going to be a lot more intense. But I would also like to say thank you all for watching and sticking around, and I hope this was helpful or like insightful or exciting or entertaining for you in some way. All of this came out on my Patreon before it was put up on YouTube, so if you're interested, it's $2 a month. Join my little club on Patreon. I am so happy that I get to do this. I'm so happy that you guys support me. If you are, if you're new here, thank you for stopping by. If you're returning, thank you so much for choosing to do that. Follow me on Instagram at Nori's Art. It's the same on YouTube. I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you so much for staying with me on my journey. It means a lot. I'm really excited that I'm able to like do YouTube and that's like feasible for me. Yeah, I'm really excited that I get to share this experience with all of you. It's really meaningful. Okay. Bye.